Hi there. This is meditation for event anxiety. So you're going to an event and you're anxious about it, and today is the day. If you need to just take an incredibly comfortable and safe restorative position, go for it. Otherwise, I invite you to get your lips a little bit higher by using a block or a bolster to place underneath you, and then come into Sukhasana, easy seat. So cross-legged, just starting to open up the hips and find some space in there. Typically, you do want your hips a little bit higher than your knees to take pressure off of your knees. And once you arrive here, just start by feeling into your body where you might have some places of tension, and just arrive with your breath. Notice the deepness of your inhales and aim for full, complete exhales. As you arrive here, notice if there's any tension in your jaw or your face. You can blow your lips out. It's always a good one for me. I know this is my first time out. It's never really fluid, and so that's an indicator to me I can loosen my jaw. But as I said, just arrive in your body, connect to your breath. And then we'll take a few cycles of a counted breath together just to arrive in the same place. So go ahead, find your next exhale, and then together inhale for a count of 4. Hold, and exhale for another count of 4. Again, inhale for 4. Hold, and exhale for 4. One more time together. Hold and exhale. Now keep going on your own pace and try to really be aware on your inhale of filling up your tummy cavity, bringing the breath into your midsection and really widening through your side body, and then finally bringing that breath all the way up into your collarbones and the top of your back body. When you get to that hold the breath for that moment without tightening through your whole body. And as you exhale, let it all go. As your hips are ready, remove the bolster. You don't have to right away, block or whatever you're sitting on, and start to gently come into some circles with your torso. And feel free here, especially if it's in the morning, to use your hands to just gently warm up your pelvis and your hips. I can really feel this in my lower right back, and so again, just be really aware of where your body is in this moment and meet it there. So use your hands if you want. As you start to warm up, you may bring your hands up to your knees and find more of the stability coming from your core than your weight-bearing hands. Move into the other direction. And while you're doing this, continue to focus on your breath. Deep and beautiful inhales and exhales. Now, while you're moving and your lower tummy particularly might feel a bit compressed, use it as an opportunity to bring the breath into your side, your back body, And down into your hips especially. Okay, next time you find yourself in the center, switch your leg crossing and do the same thing on the other side. You might feel a little bit warmer now, so you might move into more of that core stability by placing your hands on your knees. If your knees are sensitive, just pull your hands up into your thighs. No big deal. On your next exhale, go ahead and change the direction of your movement. On your next exhale, come to center. Pull your belly button into your back body or your spine. So really sucking in Uddiyana Bandha, your lower tummy muscles. And then just gently walk your fingertips forward. Keep your shoulder blades plugged on your back, collarbones wide. And just walk your hands forward enough to maybe 70% where you feel that stretch in your hips and the back body. And then just breathe. Focus on your breath. I'm someone that has really struggled with anxiety in a variety of levels. And one area that I've struggled with and put a lot of concerted effort and time into is anxiety around events. And for a lot of folks, they might get some anxiety and they might be able to have positive thoughts or positive reframes and move their mind out of anxiousness and into confidence. And that's so cool. That's so cool. If you want, as you're stretching forward, you can see I'm kind of rocking side to side and bringing that stretch more into my side body and under my arms. Go ahead and do that. Release your neck if that feels good. Don't forget your breath. And try and keep those sit bones rooted to the ground behind you. It can be a little difficult. Your next exhale, slowly start to walk your hands back up into a seated position. Now at this point, I invite you, and this can be pretty scary, but I invite you to ask yourself, what is the very, very worst, scariest thing that you are most terrified of happening at this event? Is it a confrontation with someone? Is it something more performative where you're giving a presentation or a speech? Is it a first date or a second date or a tough conversation in a relationship? I guess that's more of a confrontation as well. But whatever it is, if it's an interaction with someone else or if it's just you, what's the worst thing that could happen? Take a few deep cycles of breath as you're figuring this out. No judgment. You're in a safe space, you're at home, you're probably by yourself, but if you're not, you're probably around someone that makes you feel safe and worthy. So go there, find what is the scariest thing that could happen to you. For me, mine usually centers around confrontation and someone saying something to me or doing something where I feel small and belittled. If it has to do with being performative, it's mainly not doing, like not living up to an expectation and looking dumb or feeling stupid or inadequate afterwards. So because I've done this a lot, I can pretty easily identify what is the scariest thing for me. When you have that figured out, or if you're working your way through it, when you feel safe and comfortable, switch the crossing of your legs. Take a big, beautiful inhale. Suck up through your sitting bones and all parts of you that are touching the ground. Suck up all of that energy up into your body to fortify you and make you feel strong. Inhale, reach your fingertips so far above your head. Exhale, gently lower your hands to the ground and walk them forward. Honor each side of your body. You might not walk as forward on both sides. When you get to a place that's about 70% of a stretch, stay there. Connect with your breath. And now imagine how you're going to respond to the thing that you're most afraid of. In a confrontation, are you going to walk away? Are you going to protect a boundary? Are you going to say something and then walk away? If it's performative, are you going to do anything beforehand to increase your internal confidence, like the Superman pose? I can show that at the end here. But what is your solution going to be? Keep breathing. Breathe into your hips as you start to let this go. And by what I mean by letting this go, I mean letting go of all of the answers and the solutions that aren't simply believing in yourself. For me, the answer to that performative anxiety is you're good enough. You're as prepared as you're going to be. There is no guilt that you need to have about wishing you were more prepared, because any opportunity that you could have taken to be more prepared, you were prioritizing other things. You're not one-dimensional. So many moments led up to this moment. Inhale, slowly walk your hands back up into a seated position. And so whatever performance, presentation, sporting event, whatever it is that you have to do, however you do it, is perfect. It's exactly perfect. It is what you are meant to do and give in that moment, because so many moments led up to that moment. And so really there's no other choice. You don't have to worry about it, because whatever you will do is good enough. You're worthy. You are absolutely worthy. Whatever performance or act that you have to do, it will be good enough because you are good enough. And this moment was made of many moments, and there's no reason fretting about changing those moments because they're done. And they were important and meaningful to you then, and so they are still important and meaningful. And there is no guilt about anything you could have done to be more prepared. None. Inhale, big breath, arms overhead. Reach up through the sky as you root down through the ground and find that pillar of strength inside of you. exhale, arms to your side. And now switch your legs into, I've heard it called deer pose. It's sort of like a half pigeon. So both of your legs are going to be at a 90-degree angle. It's going to feel a little bit awkward, like you're going to want to lean up onto this bum cheek, but this is my left bum cheek, so my right leg is in front. Bring that bum cheek down as much as you can and walk your hands forward. Stay here and breathe. So let's say the other event isn't performative, it's confrontational. And in these moments, when I think about confrontational event anxiety, and I think about the solution again is, oh, my left hip just popped. That felt really good. Be careful, protect your body. Only go as far down as what feels comfortable and right for you, but stay connected with your breath. I realize that the solution is knowing that any way that confrontation comes to fruition or solution or end, the way to be successful is protecting my own boundary, trusting my own instincts, and trusting my own gut. If in that confrontation, the safest thing for me to do for my own emotional energy and self-preservation and well-being is to disengage and walk away, absolutely disengage and walk away. That is what you need in that moment, and that is okay. If in that moment, what feels safe and right is to verbally articulate your boundary and how you feel about enforcing that boundary and what does and does not work for you, whatever response you receive in response to you articulating that boundary or enforcing that boundary is not within your control, and you are successful because you have identified a boundary, you have protected yourself, and you are creating your own safe space where you can thrive. And people who do not respect that boundary, particularly in confrontation, are not people that are going to make you thrive. Therefore, no guilt, right? There is no guilt in enforcing a boundary that feels good for you. If at this point you want to bring your elbows to the floor, or you want to do like crocodile, where you place your hands on top of one another and then gently place your forehead, this is really going to deepen and intensify the stretch in your hip, and it's going to feel really, really good if your body feels safe and comfortable in that place. So take a few cycles of breath, just letting your torso relax and fold over your front leg. In this relaxation moment, take some space and realize that you have every solution and answer to any stressful event or anxiety-producing event within your own self, within trust in your gut, within your mind, creating boundaries that create safe spaces for you and protect yourself from any energy that isn't safe or thriving, as well as creating a place where you are self-satisfied and confident to the greatest degree in what you have contributed to this moment or this event, be it performative or action or whatever the case may be. Again, what you give is absolutely right and perfect, right? Because all these moments led up to one another. Inhale, push your hands into the ground, release any tension, and shine your heart forward. On your next inhale, keep walking yourself up to an upright position and then cross your legs over to the other side. So left knee in front, 90-degree angle, right knee to the side / back, 90-degree angle. This hip on the ground firmly, this hip trying to reach the ground as much as possible, and gently walking your hands forward. So again, just trusting that you have all the answers within your own self already. And whatever you do, it only matters what you think. And so you think, I am worthy, I am likable, I am lovable, I am worth respecting my own boundaries, I am worth creating my own boundaries, I am worth enforcing my own boundaries, I am worth rest, I am worth no guilt, I am worth everything that I deserve in this world. Because whatever you put into this moment, this event, this energy, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And the last thing that you want is to spend all of your emotional energy on other people. You don't want to do that. It's precious. As your body is open and available, continue to walk your hands forward and reconnect with that breath. So just know that no matter what happens at this event, even if it's like a multi-day event and there's multiple performative or confrontational opportunities, one moment does not define the next. You are able and capable to change and act however you desire and want in any given moment. And you deserve to protect yourself and your sacred energy and just that vitality within your own mind where you don't feel sick and anxious. Lower your head further down to the crocodile if your hips are open and ready. Reconnect with breath. Now, imagine or see in your mind's eye you enacting or doing or saying your solution to your own problem. See that future for yourself. See it so it's real. Connect with your breath. Pull in all of the deep power and energy from the ground below you. Fill up your back body with breath and light, and as you exhale, trust in that vision in your mind that you have the solution already to your anxiety and that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. And if it feels like maybe it's not, maybe the consequences of not being as performative or confrontational or non-confrontational as you should have been, and you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to beat myself up afterwards. Well, you know what? Then come back to the mat, find another meditation, and remind yourself, it's only a problem if you let it be a problem. It is only a problem if you let it be a problem. You are worthy. How you feel is real, it's authentic, it's everything. You are worth protecting your safety, your peace of mind, and your energy. And that's you in your own mind's eye doing that because you already have the solution to your anxiety. It is within yourself. It is trust in your gut, trust in your instincts, creating and enforcing boundaries, and knowing that you are so worthy. Take a few deep cycles of breath.
the end of your next exhale, slowly lower or raise your head off of your hands and bring body weight into your hands as you walk them closer into your body. Pause halfway, breathe, feel what you feel. Let your head adjust to being above your heart. Let that blood rush back down gently. Push yourself all the way back up to a seated position. And now come into either a wide leg extended child's pose or frog pose. I am going to try for frog, and I might end up in child's pose. The intention of both of these poses is to open the front hips, the inner thighs and groin. We spent a lot of time opening up the outer thighs in those deer positions. So this is just your counter stretch. Be really gentle and restorative. Oh. See, the thing about frog is it hurts the inside of my knees. So prop up. The other thing that I like about using a blanket as a prop for frog, besides the fact that it makes my knees hurt way less, it's for me easier to come into because then my knees can slide a little bit wider or closer together. Reconnect with your breath. Deep, steady cycles, inhale and exhale. So good for you. Connect with that Ujjayi breath if that suits you. That whispered ocean breath at the back of your throat. Try and keep the intensity the same on the inhale as the exhale. One more cycle of breath. As you exhale, gently exit out of the pose. And then come into a child's pose or Vajrasana, a hero's pose, whatever is going to feel comfortable and good for you just to end the practice here. As you reconnect with your breath, one last final activity for your mind, and that's write yourself a post-it note size letter. Dear Leah, in this moment, so dear, insert name in this moment. Thank you for taking time to be centered and to remind yourself that you are worthy. I am so proud of you. Love, future Leah.
love, future, insert name. I am worthy. I am proud of myself. I release myself of anxiety over this event. One more time. I am worthy. I am proud of myself. I release myself of all anxiety about this event. Namaste. Now go crush that shit.